Yes, so excited about that new venture.
Nice, nice. Well, before we get into that, tell the people who is Fatima Smith. Let's start with, I always start with the childhood days. Tell the people who is Fatima, the little girl.
Well, Fatima Smith is multifaceted. I originally hailed from Springfield, Massachusetts, by way of I was raised
Okay,
in
hold on. That's not gonna work
down
because your
south.
Wi-Fi is breaking up. Wait a minute, your Wi-Fi is breaking up. Do you have Wi-Fi on or do you have it off?
One moment.
That's all right, ladies and gentlemen. I got my shirt on. I just came from visiting my sister. You see what it says? I am my sister's keeper. That's not just for my sister, natural sister. That's for individuals too. That's for people that I know. That's for human beings. We are each other's keepers, sisters and brothers. So that's just a gentle reminder of everyone that we need to be mindful that we got to look out for one another. Okay. So while she's getting it together, I just want to let you know it's story time. Story time is where human beings connect through life experiences. All right. And tonight we are so excited because we have Miss Fatima Smith, And what we want you to do while you are here tonight is make sure you are going to be liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. We're going to give her time to go out and come back in and do what she needs to do. When you are doing productions and you are doing anything with technology, you have to always be prepared for what we call technical difficulties because they do happen. All right. But what we want you to do as we get ready for her when we receive her again is share this with 5 of your friends. All right. We want you to be able to share this with 5 of your friends. And we want you to know that if you have a story that you can definitely contact me so that I can help you get that story told globally. All right. And so we are going to bring Fatima back in and ask her once again to introduce herself and tell us who is Fatima Smith. For those who've never met her before, for those who've never seen her before, let's take it back to the little girl and talk about your background and your family and a little bit about your history, Fatima.
Okay, can you see me and hear me okay now?
I can,
All
loud and
right.
clear.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Well, first of all, I want to say I appreciate the opportunity to be on with you. This is an amazing platform, and I am just grateful to be on with you on this evening. Fatima Smith hails from Springfield, Massachusetts, born and raised. I currently live in Smithfield, North Carolina, by way of Durham, North Carolina, by way of Greenville. So I've been down here for 32 years, but again, born and raised in Springfield, Mass. Was a part of the arts and entertainment industry literally all of my life. I remember being 5 years old, reciting a poem by Langston Hughes on a television station that we had called Heritage Corner. And I think from there, my mother just kept me very actively involved in a lot of the community programs and Big Brother, Big Sister, and you name it, I was a part of it. And I just know that I was, destined to be in the arts entertainment industry since a little child because I've been doing this all of my literal life.
Well, let me ask you something. Tell me, small family, large family. Is your family from the area of North Carolina, or were you from somewhere else originally?
So I have a pretty big family. We're based out of um, Georgia, actually. So my roots are from Macon, Georgia, Dublin, Georgia. My grandmother um, raised 8 children, my mother being the eldest of 8, who is now deceased, rest her soul. But my mom was the oldest daughter, and there was 6 girls and 2 boys. And so my grandmother was AME Baptist. My grandfather was Church of God in Christ. So, being reared in that household. And then, of course, the children started having children. But yes, I do come from a large family. I don't have any biological family in North Carolina, outside of a couple of younger cousins who recently migrated down here. But been in North Carolina for 32 years. Again, my family's roots are in Georgia, Massachusetts, have family in Florida, but not in North Carolina.
Wow. And Fatima, so you branched out, you became an adult. Did you ever get married or have children?
Never been married. So, single mother of two kids, a boy and a girl. Actually, this year is a very monumental year for me. My son will be 32, and my baby girl, my only girl, will be 30 in May. And what's even more special is that all of the monumental birthdays, except for one, is happening in May. So on May 12th, I have a 9-year-old granddaughter, my son's daughter, who will be 10. I have her father, whose birthday is 5 days later on the 17th. And then my baby girl, who will be 30, her birthday is May 24th. I do have a grandson. He will be turning 5 this year, and his birthday is in September. So pretty exciting times for us with all these monumental birthdays. I mean, any birthday that we're still here on earth is a blessing. But, I have some major ones this year, and I'm so excited about it.
Wow, that's amazing. I met that granddaughter of yours, very gifted, very talented, and I know at some point in time I need to be interviewing her because she is an author now. I understand. Is that correct?
She is. Let me tell you about Miss Parker Jaden Brightwell Jackson. Parker is so animated, so dramatic, so smart. Um, she shared a story with me. I took her to a carnival here in Smithfield, and she was just so random. Like I said, she's 9 now. So all of a sudden, out of the blue, she shares with me when she was 4, she was scared to go to the big school, to go to kindergarten after she turned 5 because she was afraid that she wouldn't make any friends. And so,
Mm-hmm.
because Parker is so animated, she literally told the story like she was narrating it. So she's like, I said, well, why was you afraid? Well, I was scared because I didn't think that I would make new friends. But guess what happened? I went to the school. I saw this little girl in line. I asked her what her name was. She told me Isabella. And I said, hi, Isabella. I'm Parker. And she said, hi, Parker. And she said, and I asked her, did she want to be my friend? And she said, yes. And so because she's so animated, I said, I'm going to turn that into a story. And I literally contacted my publicist, which is my neighbor right literally across the street from me. And we went ahead and turned just that 2-minute conversation into a kid's storybook.
Wow, wow, wow. And I saw that book. That book is very colorful. I don't know if you have a copy of it, but we definitely want to let the people know where they might be able to get it. And we'll save a lot of the details for an interview with her. I would love to interview her. That would be a great way to get her used to public speaking, get her used to being in front of the camera, get her ready for book signings and all that at 9 years old. So
9 years
before she
old.
gets to the high school and everything, that's amazing that you thought of that for her because we need to expose our children to these things because these children have things that we don't have. They have the internet, they have all these ways to monetize and make money and so many different skills that they can get early on. So I'm proud of you and I'm proud of her. So I look forward to meeting her and hearing more about her. So
Thank
your
you
daughter,
so much. And I just wanted to put a plug that the book is currently at Amazon, on Amazon, under Parker Jackson. So Parker
mm-hmm.
Jackson. It's at Barnes and Nobles. So under Parker Jackson. And the name of the book is called The First Day of School Jitters. Now, there are tons of other books with the same title, The First Day of School Jitters. But when you plug in her name, Parker Jackson, she comes right up. So Barnes and Nobles, Amazon, and the one that I just said, Amazon and Barnes and Nobles.
And it's
And
called The First Day of School Jitters.
The First Day of School Jitters by Parker Jackson.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. How does her mom feel about that? I know she is so proud.
She is extremely proud of her. We all are. Parker is just, she's a dancer. You've seen
Yes.
some of her clips. She's amazing. I mean, the
Woo,
girl is
woo.
talented. She is. She's a dancer. She's on a step team now. And, she's just smart as a whip. And I do want to share this very important aspect of us getting this book project off. She was hands on. She wrote it. It's her story. She edited it. We had Zoom meetings with the publisher. She was in the chat room writing and thanking us for the project. And I mean, like, she was our colleague. And it was
Wow.
just a phenomenon to see this little girl who's only been here 9 years on earth just conducting herself in a business-like manner. The photos were not created by her. She's not an illustrator, but she had her hand into how she wanted the pictures to look, what she wanted to wear, where she stood at in the book. I mean, all her.
Wow. I had talked to you for the idea. A lot of times we don't think about stuff like that at such an early age. So you have an entrepreneur spirit. You had that in you for a long time. We go back a long way.
Yes,
I tried to remember the first time I met you. I know it's been going on 40 years. I don't know if it was Lori that introduced us, Lori Austin.
yes,
Oh,
yep,
it was definitely a good 30 or 40 years ago, and out there in the triangle doing some different things in the community, in the fashion and entertainment industry, business
absolutely.
industry, and everything. And you've been constant. You've been a constant out here. You haven't stopped, and you've been professional and just definitely made a positive name for yourself out here. So I'm truly proud of you. And now, like I see right now, you have a new title. Like I said earlier, certified and accredited life coach. So we're going to talk about that later too. But before we go there, so mother of a son and a daughter. Your son is about 6'5" or something.
9, 9.
6'9". And wow, was he a basketball
Yes.
player?
He did not play ball, but he gets his height from his dad, who actually is the reason why we arrived in North Carolina. My son's father and I met in junior college, and he was 6'7", and he was the
Wow.
star of the basketball team. And so we connected, and he got recruited to play basketball for ECU on a scholarship. And so when he moved down south, I moved down south. So
Oh,
that's our little love story. And of course, out of it came a bouncing baby boy who is amazing. And like I said, he's 31, getting ready to be 32. And at his senior year in high school, I think he was right at 6'7" with his dad.
wow.
But then all of a sudden, he's a, he's from NCCU. He went to college at Central, and the boy never stopped growing. He went from 6'7" to 6'8", 6'8" to 6'9", and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? You're still growing."
And he's a nice looking young man. Ladies, nicer, but he's taken. I do believe he's taken, right? Nice looking, tall, and never had a love for sports at all. Wow, does he model? Did you get him out there on the runway, Fatima?
He always thought he was too tall to model, and from his perception of it, because everybody else was shorter than him, I could understand how he felt like. But the thing about it is, when you are over 6'5" and you have other people that are your height or taller, that would make sense. You wouldn't feel out of place. But when you're over 6'5" and the average man is 5'11", 6'1", 6'2", you feel like a giant. And he,
Yes.
he clearly is. So you know what? I have been thinking about for quite some time now. I'm talking about decades or more, doing a fashion show
For the
literally
tall.
for the tall. Exactly. So I would love, love, love to do something with basketball players or with just male models in general that are of that height, so they won't feel like they stand out, but that they have, their comrades next to them, and it won't seem off to be, 6'5" next to someone walking that's 5'11". So I've
Girl,
actually thought about that for quite some time. It just haven't come into fruition yet, but it's still a goal of mine at some point in time.
let me tell you something. That would be some eye candy for real. Could you imagine those athletes? going down the runway, the ones that got the muscles and they built, ooh, and some of them had to walk anyway. They got the swag. Oh my goodness. And then you're going to put a suit or some kind of outfit. Oh, you're
Yes.
about to
Yes.
start for real. And you know what? The thing about it is about fashion shows that I remember from the work I did with Newbie on Smiling True is that it changes the person's perspective. It changes their attitude. It changes their posture. It changes their whole demeanor. They get confident. They feel good about themselves. So you mess around and do that, you really make some strong monsters. If you do that, let me know. I'd love to get involved with that because that would be good. That would be something to really air and talk about to the fellas, the before and after, because some of them may feel clumsy. Some of them may feel like they are not confident because of what you just said, because sometimes if they have a size 10 and 11 shoe and their foot is big, some of them, they might have tripped over their feet. So it would be an interesting conversation. And then you have a daughter now, the daughter, Shakira. Ooh, now that girl can walk. Now that girl took after her mama for sure. For sure. If you have never seen her, y'all need to go check out Fatima's page because her baby girl has it going on when it comes to the modeling industry. She's the mama and she's now a mother and she still looks well. She still looks well. So is she still in the modeling industry herself?
Oh, absolutely. So, I started her off as a baby, of course. We all do it. We all start having kids and we all rear them in the same industry that we were brought up because that's just a natural instinct for, you to get your kids involved into the things that you were involved in. Yeah, it doesn't work today so much, but, you know, 30 years ago, I'm like, I'm going to get my kids involved in the arts entertainment industry because, like I just shared, that's like all I know. That's my life. So I started my daughter modeling as a baby. She did photo shoots. She went off to do, some calendar events. And then at 7, she was a trained professional runway model. At 7 years old, she was a beast, but she didn't understand the aspect of working hard and practicing. And now, mind you, in second grade at 7 years old, all you have to do is follow your mother's instruction and walk. And back then, her runway was from the living room to the kitchen refrigerator, turn around and go back to the living room. That was our little runway. And so she was like, I'm tired and I'm thirsty. And can I do this? And can I, just like the typical child? And so when we had fashion shows coming up, especially when she started getting scouted and I started having to take her out of town for competitions and things of that nature, and she was getting callbacks, I'm like, you can't just show up and be cute. You have to actually know what to do. So I trained her vigorously, but she decided at 7 that she didn't really want to put in the work. So she stopped modeling for a little while. And then at 14, I think she was right at 7th grade, she was like, Ma, I want to model again. And she went back in, she went back strong, and she continued modeling. And up until 5 years ago, because she had her little boy, will be 5 years old now. So of course, she stopped and had the baby. But now that he's turning 5, she is back full swing. And I am so proud of her. I've watched her transitions. I've watched her grow. Like I said, she's turning 30. We're pretty excited about that. She's about to be a grown woman. If ever she thought she was grown before, she about to be grown now, and she is tearing up a runway. We just had rehearsal today for a show in July, and she was slaying that runway.
What show's coming up in July?
There's a show called Black Elegance. And it is Skip Waller's show together with Michelle from Elegant Evenings. Any of my listening audience, Google or go to Facebook and put in Elegant Evenings and put in Skip Waller of Black Cat Forever. And you'll get a glimpse of some of the designs and the creativity and the people behind this show. The show is going to be epic. And it's on July the 1st. And of course, I'll make sure that the viewers get more information about ticket information on that as well. I am not a designer, as everybody know, but people think I am because I present on a lot of designers' behalves. So what I do is not only do I produce events myself for F. Smith Productions, but I also present designers collections in the event that they can't personally be there themselves. So
Oh,
I
wow.
am representing an African line, and it's out of Kenya. And so what happens is I've teamed up with her name is Betha Obanji, and she is from Kenya. And what she does is she gets her members of her village to create the garments. And then, of course, they get shipped to the States, and she sells them so she can help feed her family back in the Kenya area, as well as send the children to school. So her sole purpose as a vendor is to showcase the garments and the fabrics as often as possible by way of vending. And my sole purpose is to take them from a vending event and put them on bodies and actually showcase them at shows. So that's
Wow.
my role. And so African artifacts and accessories will be presented at the Black Elegance show on July the 1st.
Man, you just have so many gifts. And you also are the Southeast region's fashion editor for iFashion magazine out of New York, New York as well.
Yes, absolutely. Very excited about that. Lloyd Crawford, who is the editor in chief, him and I go way back about a good 15 years. Out of just by doing multiple events in New York and networking, I have a great team of colleagues in the New York, New Jersey area, and so Lloyd Crawford is definitely one of them. He's the editor in chief of iFashion, and I am the Southeastern region's fashion editor. And what my goal is to bring the platform for models
Mm-hmm.
anywhere from Virginia all the way down to Florida is my region. So I have the power to scout and to do photo shoots or to accept what they send me to see if it's magazine material, and then I can get you published. So very proud of that.
Oh, I got a story for you too. I think I talked to you about that. We got to do that. We have to follow up on that. I know we never got a chance to, but definitely interested in getting that in there for sure. So I definitely want to follow up with you. So put that on your notepad so we can definitely make sure we make that happen too. So people can contact you if they are a model interested in modeling, if they are a parent with a child who wants to model, if they are a designer that they're interested in getting seen in a fashion show that you're producing or choreographing or training models are, or if they want to get exposure in iFashion magazine from New York City, if they want to get involved, they can contact you for all of these different things. What is the best way for them to reach you, Fatima?
The best way, I'm in love with Messenger. I know Instagram is the way, but I do have to openly admit that I am not an Insta head, but I do need to get better at that. But I do utilize Facebook Messenger for everything.
What's your
So
email? Business wise, a lot of people may not be on Messenger. So, what is your email or phone number that you want me to put on here? Because Messenger may not be the best route when it comes to that. I know you have an email. What is your email?
F, yeah. So my name is Fatima Smith, and
Mhm.
my business email is fsmithproductions@gmail.com. You can reach
Okay.
me there or under my umbrella, because I have wear a lot of different hats with my several businesses. I also have a overall umbrella. I am Fatima Smith 2023, and that's also at gmail.com.
Okay, so you have another one that you do, and so is it preferred one or the other for any specific project?
So F. Smith Productions obviously is for any arts entertainment production aspect, but because I, do things outside of that, F. Smith Photography, Baskets by Fatima, Say So Life Coaching Services. So that's why I incorporated the I Am Fatima Smith, which covers all of it as a whole.
Okay, so it's I. So the second email is I am Fatima Smith.
I am Fatima
That correct?
Smith 2023
Okay, so we'll get that
at
in there.
gmail.com.
Wow, wow. So, did you dream about doing all this when you were small, Fatima? But just to go when you were a little girl, what was your aspiration? What did you want to be when you grew up?
Um, no, I did not dream of any of this. Um, I actually never really knew what I wanted to do in life because I'm going to blame it on being a twin. And by that, I don't mean I have a biological sibling that I shared a womb with, but the Gemini twin. So I
Oh,
I've never been able to just pinpoint one thing that I wanted to do in life. And I think that's because of my astrological sign. In my mind, it is. I can't really never decide on one in particular anything. I do things in twos, I do multiples, even something as simple as picking out an outfit or, one pair of shoes. If I see several pair of shoes that I like in the same style but different colors, I'm getting it. If I see 5 maxi dresses that I gotta have, I'm gonna get them. So I don't really know how to just pick and choose. So growing up, I kind of like did a variety of things, but again, I have to give my mother props for just keeping me actively involved in the community and just being actively involved in things that has formed and shaped me into who I am today. So I'm very grateful of that. And where we come from is a lot of culture there in Springfield, Massachusetts. A lot of people don't even know that, is deep in culture. I mean, we have Hispanics, we have your Caucasians and your African Americans, we have Jamaicans, we have Haitians. I mean, it's, very um it's a melting pot in Springfield, Massachusetts. And so, you know, we were just always involved, like with the Harambe festival that happened every single year with the different music groups and the dancing and the singing and so I gravitated to those type of things growing up. Then my mother I think I was 12. Yep, I was 12 years old. My mother enrolled me into Frank Hatchett Center of Performing Arts, and I did tap. I love, 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 love tap dancing. I did tap, I did ballet, I did Afro, and I did acrobatics. And so I did that, and all of a sudden, modeling came into play as well. So I did all of that at 12 years old. Remember the year, it was 1982. And so I was just, like I said, I was reared into the entertainment industry from a child.
now I hear you talk a lot about your mom. Was dad in the picture a lot too?
My father and I had a relationship. It definitely wasn't estranged, but he was not um I mean, he didn't mold or make or raise me, but he was in my life. So yeah, I spent time with my father on weekends, and he's deceased as well. But I can't say I didn't know him or didn't have him because I did. But speak about my mom mostly because she was a single mother. Although I had a father, my mother raised me. My mother took
Yeah.
care of me, so I have to give all props to her for who I am today. Although, yes, ma'am, I did have a father.
Well, no, I know you don't have a father. I was just trying to find out because a lot of times we are single moms, and then we give props to the mothers. But I have a lot of male listeners that listen too, so I just wanted to acknowledge him and let it be known. I'm sure you got some traits from him, some kind of way. What do you think you got from your dad? Did you take anything behind your dad or from your dad, your looks or any behavioral traits or anything?
um, Probably his, I was gonna say his spunk, but I don't know if I would characterize him as spunky, but um, probably that tough side of me comes from him. Well, I'm not gonna say probably, but my father was a gangster. And I'm gonna just keep it real. My father was that dude. Good people, wine and dine you, family cookouts, and love to, be the showboat and love nice things and spending money on, his women and family members and things like that, but my father was no joke. So I guess if I had to say the testosterone and
Directness, your
the the
directness and
the
outspokenness.
male side of me, because I've had men tell me like, you one of the boys and you get down like, so I mean, I'm very feminine obviously, but yes, I do have that other side. And I mean, my mother wasn't no joke either, but my father, he ain't play no games, and so I
Right.
think I got that from him.
Interesting that you said that. So that means that if somebody comes to you and you're training them to walk, and they're not the most dainty and they're not the most feminine, you help them on the walkway and you help them on the runway to develop a style and to be able to feel good about who they are with their own creative walk.
Absolutely. So what gives me the most joy is someone that comes already gifted with an innate ability on the inside. If you have something, I can find it and I can pull it out of you and we can go from there. But if it's just not in you, I can't give it to you. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I keep it real. I'll never tell somebody I can make you a star, I can make you a model, I'm about to turn you into anything, because I don't possess those gifts. For me, if you have something I can work with, I promise you I can coach, train, and develop you. But if it's not there, it's not there. And what I won't do is charge somebody or take their money or work with them and train them, to get a financial gain. And I don't think that, we'll go far. That's what I'm not going to do. I'm fair, I'm honest, and I'm open. And of course, all of these are my opinions, so I can share my opinions on one's progress, but I will never, tell somebody how well they're doing or this is for you if I know professionally that it may not be.
I've seen your models. My daughter was one. You taught my daughter how to walk, and she still has
Absolutely.
that. She still, when she poses, she still got that pose. She still got that stance. So once you teach them, it never goes away. And so even though she didn't stay in the industry, it doesn't go away. Just a couple more questions about that, because I know that's a part of you that is a major part. Because you do so many things, and I am going to branch off to those. You also have something that you produce that I know we use so many times that I think it's a very important piece of what you do for the models, and that is how you bring awareness with charities and the domestic violence piece. You have that group that you
Yes.
have that you work with, models against domestic violence. That right there, do you still actively work with them? And if you do, tell the people what that's about, how that came about, and if you're still actively doing anything with that group.
Absolutely. I mean, the domestic violence is still running rampant. It's still, what plagues the community every single day. So it's called Models and Actors United, and it's simply a group of models and actors alike. And I depict true to life for instances of a scenario that might incite violence, and then the models and actors act it out.
Yeah.
And I know, for some people it might be like, wow, that's graphic and that's, in your face and that's a bit much, but you can't dumb it down. When we present it, it has to, I mean, clearly they're not physically fighting, but it has to look as real as possible, because if not, it's a moot point. It happens, it's happening right now, unfortunately, somewhere. So if we don't present the Not That Girl skit in the best light, so not to glorify the violence, but to bring awareness to it and open people's eyes, then, we're not doing our job. And so it is, gosh, it's probably going on, I know 2011 is when it started. And I teamed up with some amazing people. Miss Demetrius Rains was one of them. And she has a group called Models Against Domestic Violence. And I teamed up with Ashley Marshall, who is our R&B artist who created the song Not That Girl, whose the whole skit was affectionately named after that particular song, because it's just a timely song. It's a powerful song. And the whole song is about a girl being in a abusive relationship, and she's decided, I'm not that girl anymore. I'm not
That's
going to allow you to continue to hurt me. And so we use that song, and we actually, she joins us live for some
yes,
of the, as a matter of fact, a great deal of our performances, she's there live singing it, and the
yes.
actors are acting it out. And just recently, last year, as a matter of fact, was the first time I opened it fully up to dialogue. And so
Mm.
now it's even
Wow.
more powerful. It's powerful. It
Wow,
is.
I gotta see that. You gotta let me know when you do that. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you, when they did that, when we had the event at Mount Sinai, I never forget how it actually triggered some people who had been in domestic violence relationship that were in the audience. One young lady had to leave because it reminded her this was her life, and she had to step out for a minute. It also helped a couple people, so it leads people to getting the healing and the counseling that they need, and it's really, really powerful. And like she said, it's opening up the conversation for dialogue for people to conversate. And sometimes you could see a person reaction, and you don't know that they've been in domestic violence, but it makes you go, "You okay?" And then that's when they go, "No." So
Right.
thank you for
Yeah.
that. Thank you for what you do, because that's so powerful. And so
Now,
before I get off of the modeling, because I know you've done so many things for so many big shows here in the Triangle, from the Bimbays to stuff with Interact, and oh my God, just every cause. I mean, you presented and produced and had designers and represented for so many causes. I just want to thank you, from the breast cancer to the lung cancer,
yeah.
autism, suicide, domestic violence, you name it, you've done it. You partner with so many organizations, from Feeding America to Lupus. I mean, you've done so many things. Capital City Hope Foundation, my nonprofit. So you've just done a lot. And so I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for being consistent and being persistent and being professional, continuing to evolve, continuing to be an impact, continuing to teach, continuing to empower, and continuing to provide excellent entertainment in the industry. So we just appreciate you. Keep me in the loop and let me know when you have something coming up for that. So now
Absolutely.
I want to
Thank
segue
you
over.
so much.
Oh,
Before you go, hold on. I want to throw it back to you. I just want to say thank you. You talking about somebody constant. And ladies and gentlemen, I know this is an interview about me tonight, but I want you guys to know who you have in the room. You talking about somebody constant. This lady has been in the field of the entertainment and arts industry for decades, 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 and constant. And this is her life. When you eat, breathe, sleep, and live this, and not just, portray something, because
did we lose you right there? Because I just saw a pause coming in with that. The Wi-Fi connection. I caught it. I caught it right there when it was coming. So I'm gonna get you time to catch that sentence, because that's the good old internet where it stopped and it caught you in the middle of that sentence. But catch it, and I'll
okay,
let you catch it and come on back. You might have to hit the Wi-Fi button or bring it on back, because sometimes that's what happens. But I thank you so much for throwing that back to me. It's like I said, when we love what we do and we do what we love, it's a part of who we are. It's a part of who we are. It's a part of our everyday life, and it is what it is. I will always find a way to get back to it.
thank
And
you for being a
yeah,
pillar in the community. Truly
yes,
a
ma'am.
pillar.
We
Thank you so
here
much.
for each other. And then, of course, I know you have the travel business that you have here. I put a little plug in there for that. I know, travel is a whole nother conversation. Also, I know you have your travel business called Exquisite Excursions. I know that
Yes,
you are accredited life recovery coach. And I
yes.
also know that you did something major last year. You became a part of a group. I don't want to call it. It's not a sorority. It's a
It is
social.
a sorority.
It's
It's a
is it a sorority?
sorority.
It's a
Yes.
sorority. Okay,
We
okay,
are registered. We are federally trademarked. It's a sorority.
okay. So it's a sorority, and so you did that. Which what's the name of the sorority?
Shout out to Sigma Chi Sigma Incorporated, federally registered and trademarked, where our fabulous CEO is Dr. Monique McMiller. She's amazing. It's a Christian Greek sorority, and it is absolutely all that you see online, all that you've heard. It is that and then some.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen it every time I said I was gonna look and find out more, but I just didn't get a chance to. I've never been one for pledging and thinking about that stuff, but there's pieces of it that I do enjoy. And it's funny because I do a lot of stuff out here in the community. A lot of people say, Crystal, you belong to any organization. And I don't. I said, no. I just kind of do it solo. I just never took the time to get into anyone, and I never really was like approached by anyone. I got approached by a couple here lately, to partner up. They're like, Crystal, you'd be great at this, you'd be great at that. But what is it about that organization that attracted you?
First of all, I saw one of my business partners in the travel business posting about, the mission and posting about the different things that they were doing in the community. We do a Purses and Pearls event. We do so many, and I just gravitated to how every time I turn around, she was posting, powerful things that was happening with this organization in the community. So I looked it up. And when I looked it up, their mission mirrored what I already do in my life anyway. So it's not like, I just started to become, who I am or do what I do for charity wise or community wise. I was doing that anyway, but why not do it with hundreds of other like-minded sisters that we can do it together? So I was pretty excited about that. And if I can say, it not only met my expectations, it exceeded my expectation, because all of the stuff like people like you and I do on our own, just like you said, we've been doing this, we've been in this game for years, but it's just been us, so you are Capital Hope Foundation. You are the catalyst, the Hope Catalyst. F. Smith Productions is Fatima Smith. Now I have hundreds of sorors to join me in my endeavor to bring awareness to the community and just do all the things that I was doing solo. Now I can share that with other women. And that's what just like is amazing to me.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So you got to share that information, because it probably takes the load off too. It probably makes it a little easier, I'm sure. A lot of times, because we carry so much on our shoulders, that doing it and having the sorrows, I'm sure that kind of lightened the load a little bit. So that's good. So I'm glad I asked you that question. Definitely, And so we know you love to travel. We know you're helping people there. We know you're helping. So you are a definite serialpreneur. You got all these different businesses making money, supplemental income. We all know you got to have some residual. It's not just about linear income, without really having too much of a conversation about it. But what would you tell the people out there who just don't really get it, who are still doing the 9 to 5 thing, and they don't understand the importance of having supplemental income, of having that additional stream, and having the plan B even before plan A goes away?
You just told them my story, because you already know when I lost my job, I didn't have a plan B, which is crazy. Why wouldn't anyone have a plan B? I didn't have one. So my life as I knew it was living for a few months on unemployment, and it was nowhere near clearly, what could pay my bills. And so when we talk about additional income, extra cash on hand. Anytime you hear people talk about linear income or versus residuals or extra money or additional, it sounds so cliche, but it is exactly what it sounds like: extra and additional. So this is on top of whatever it is that you have going on. Everybody that is somebody needs an additional piece of change on top of what they already make from their 9 to 5, or however what other means that they make their money. But it is so needed, because I remember a time, and it was not that long ago, that I did not have extra income. And since then, within the last I would say within the last 6 years, I mean, I just seen not just more money, but I've seen my mindset change. I've seen my lifestyle change. I get it now. And again, we hear it all the time, but do we get it? Do we understand it? Do you have a nest egg? Are you building a legacy for your children and your children's children? Do you have that extra income in a savings account or any other accounts for that matter? Some people just don't have extra. When their full time is gone, that's a wrap. They don't know what additional is. But it's out there for you to have. You have to change your
Yeah,
mindset.
that's exactly right. And thank you for just reminding the good people about that. I'm going to start to do a couple of series on that to really begin. I have been doing the story time and interviewing people, but I really hadn't really tapped in like I want to really educate and empower when it comes to residual income, supplemental income. And so
Eh, If I
that's
can say
coming.
one more thing about that, just a snippet, I'm not even going to go deep, but I promise you, I joined the business for $19.99, and y'all have no idea how much of a blessing that has been to my entire life. When I say it changed my life, and it's still changing it today, $19.99. That's all I'm going to say about
Yeah.
that.
Got a home now. I mean, just all kind of stuff, right? Just all kind of stuff. And we got to keep on keeping on, and we got to keep on helping people, and we have to keep helping people to have an open mind, because so many people still have a closed mind. But one day at a time, we're gonna get through that. Now,
Absolutely.
so now you are in a different area of your life. You made a
Hmm.
decision, and something happened in the last year or two. And I looked up one day on Facebook, and all of a sudden I saw a certified and accredited life coach. I said, "Where did this come from?" So where did that come from? How did that come about? And tell us a little bit about that, because you already have a plate full. You already have all the different things that you're doing, all the different business entities, sorority, grandmother, mother. I didn't even talk about the fact that you still have a 9 to 5 and a
Yeah.
supervisor position and a
Yeah.
supervisor position. Got a promotion on the job, y'all. Got a promotion to a supervisor position.
Yeah.
So my, not the Lord have mercy, the grace of God. I know He's on
Yes,
your side.
Lord.
So
Yes.
where did that come about? How did that come about? What tell me about the life coaching? What happened to
Actually, for years, I had contemplated on being a certified life coach. My sister, near and dear to my heart, Soror as well. I'll give a plug out to Darlene Musgrave. She became a certified life coach some years ago, and I actually was going to go under the tutelage of the same training that she had. But as it turned out, when I went to reach out, I didn't get a response. And so my soror actually has a business, Purpose Zeal Academy. And when she put out in the air that she was having sessions and certifications, I signed up with the quickness. And so now that I know it was not meant for me to be under anybody else's tutelage except for my soror, and I'm going to give her a shout out, LaShonda Wofford, Purpose Zeal Academy, amazing class, amazing teaching, just an amazing person. Dr. Wofford, let me get it right, um, Dr. LaShonda Wofford. And so, we all, without the paper, assist people with life, be it our children, be it their friends, be it, our colleagues at work. We're always, especially as a supervisor, we're always listening to people's problems. We're always problem solvers. We're always helping and advising somebody. So I was doing it anyway. I just didn't have the paperwork and the accreditation to back me up. And now, as of November of last year, I am licensed, or should I say, not licensed, I'm certified and I'm accredited as a life coach. And I couldn't be more proud because I get to, like I said, just do the type of stuff that I was doing anyway and just be there and pour into people. Um, and, that's my living. So I'm very proud of that.
Wow, wow. Well, I am so excited. I see Mark was out here. He was saying a couple things. He was shout out. He said that him and Martin and Roy were just talking about you recently, and he said he asked if you were on LinkedIn because he said, of course, LinkedIn and Atlanta Bowl is a good place to be. And he said, of course, that you always use art to make change, that you are the epitome of an art activist. So thank you so much, Mark. Thank you so much, John, for
Thank you,
being here.
Mark.
Appreciate y'all for being there, and we're just as excited to have you here too as well, Fatima. So now, as a life coach, what is it that you want to focus on? Do you have a niche?
So yes, the training that I took is for grief, actually. Trauma and grief is
Mm,
what we focus on. Being bereavement and, not just everyday life stressors, but specifically grief and trauma. And, there isn't anybody that's alive that hasn't been affected by either themselves or know someone who has. And so it's needed. People are hurting. Um, I was just in the Dominican Republic and with my sorority. And while I was there, one of my sorors sung a song. I think it was "Did You Ever Know You Were My Hero," if I'm not
mm,
mistaken.
uh-huh.
And when she sung that song, I saw a lady who was weeping. Now I'm in the DR. I don't know these people from Adam, but I saw a lady who was weeping, and my spirit said to go and hug her. So I went over to her and, I hugged her and consoled her. And I felt like something about that song was very special and near and dear to her heart. And she said it was. She said her brother had passed and they were very close. And, ever since then, she's been, kind of like attitudey and mean to people, and her kids say that she's like in a different place and she's just just not normal, which is understandable. Her brother passed suddenly, as a matter of fact. And so I had the opportunity to just embrace her and just share with her some things that could kind of help her through it. And it was just amazing. So here I am in Punta Cana, on a vacation and being able to still advise someone and just be there for somebody, just to listen. I didn't, like I said, I didn't know that lady from Adam, but I did know that that song touched her heart, and I felt compelled to go and just be there for her. And that's all a part of life coaching, just being there. And it's
Life.
a part of, it's a part of ministry. It is just,
Yes.
it's that, when the spirit say, go and hug, that's what I did. I mean, she could have rejected me, COVID for some people is still present. And so she could have, not wanted me to come close to her, but she received it. And it was just a blessing to be a blessing.
Wow, wow. That's amazing. So,
And my business is called Say So LCS, which stands for Speaking About Your Silence Out Loud Life Coaching Services. And so, like, someone referenced, that's what they say in church when the preacher is preaching a good word, the congregation say so, say it so. And that is that. I'm encouraging people to not hold things in silence, and it's okay. And my tagline is, help is not on the way, it's already here. All you have to do is say so. Whatever you're going through, you do not have to deal with that in silence. Just speak up about it. Openly say so.
wow. So, what's in the future for the life coaching?
Um, Building my clientele, definitely just, opening my business for anyone who really, could use the service. So many times people just, a lot of people are private and, they feel like, well, it's my business and I don't really want to share it. And, or there's a great deal of people that's used to dealing with things alone and keeping stuff in, and that's just their way. But it's time out for that, because it is killing you softly. You can't harbor stuff on the inside. You have to have a release. There's some people, believe it or not, that don't cry. Like this, like you ask somebody, when the last time you just shed a tear, and oh, I don't cry, or I hold stuff in and I don't do that. Well, you're supposed to. You're human, especially with grief and trauma. People deal with that differently. Some people like me, when my mom passed, I wasn't initially, just in tears and just, that just wasn't my way. I actually went to work the day my mother died. I went to work because I had just got recently hired on a new job the day I found out my mother died, and still went to work. I had to be a big girl, and I had to be professional, and I had to show these people that I needed a job. And I
Wow.
went, but I promise you, when 5 o'clock hit, I was a bag of nothingness,
Wow.
and a stranger could have hugged me and I would have broke down. So everybody needs somebody, especially during that grieving period.
Man, when they say that we go through things to prepare us for, who we are and who we're going to be, I guess that was an ultimate test right there, to have gotten the news about your mom and starting a new job, and to be a recovery coach right now for people grieving. Like, come on.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
like, wow, man, that's a lot. So admirable, very admirable. And you said something not too long ago. You said it. You said it's ministry.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you do, it's like I say that too. Everything I do is ministry. But, when we understand our calling, there's a big old thing they have out here where they say we understand the assignment. And I know you understand it, just like I understand it. And it's important that people understand their purpose and what the assignment is, and then you can do these things. And you're mastering it pretty well. You're doing good. Like, people sometimes ask, how do you balance it? And I tell them, well, you balance it by just, of course, allocating your time. And I tell people, it's not going to be 50-50. The balance doesn't mean 50-50. The balance could be 70-30. It could be 60-40. It could be 20-80. But you
Right.
still have to know how to balance it. So how do you balance it all?
Honey, we have had offline conversations about this, um, in the stance of, a few years ago, we were a beast at multitasking and just
Ooh,
able to do a lot, just getting it all done. And I mean, I look back at even in my early, 30s and 40s, where you talking about doing multiple things and just getting it all done. And, especially all the various activities that we was involved in church. It's like Monday night was choir rehearsal, and Tuesday night was mime rehearsal, Wednesday night was step practice, and I mean, and I'm looking back now, like, how in the
wow.
world today,
Yeah.
if I had to do all that all over again? I don't want to. I'm gonna keep it real. Today, if I had
Woo.
to do it all over again, I wouldn't want to. I would make it happen, but I wouldn't want to. But in my seasoned older age, I'm not as good with the balance, but you do find balance because you prioritize what needs to be done, and things that mean something to you, things that you care about, you make it happen and you do what you must, in order to be successful at it. But it is a lot. It's a lot. When people say, "Oh, I have a lot on my plate," well, it's your plate. So you are in charge of the food on your plate. So if it's too heavy for you, scrape some off, put it in the refrigerator, and come back to it a couple of days from now. So, everybody has the ability to assign what is and what's not on their plate. And so that's what I do. I pick and choose what to eat off my plate today.
Yes. And the portions. And, young lady, all bets on me, said, you are so amazing, Fatima. She gave you applause. And she said, everything that you do is from the heart. And she said, you're definitely walking in your purpose. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
All
you,
bets on me.
sis. That
And,
is Dr.
and
Walford, the lady I shouted out, who's
oh,
responsible for
wow.
me
Oh,
becoming a
man.
certified life coach. Thank
Oh my
you.
goodness! Oh my goodness! I need to meet her and talk. I need to talk to her
Oh,
for sure.
yes.
That's
Yes,
something I
ma'am.
looked into a couple of. it seemed to me like this sorority you're in has a lot of things that I thought about. I'm listening to everything you said, and I was like, dang, Crystal, she said that, she said that. I'm thinking about my little list that I have, and I was like, man, that's interesting. And I wrote the book, Finding Wishes, a Transition from Life to Death.
Yes.
Talk to people about that. And so I always said I need to somehow, I don't know if I want to be a grief counselor, but I kind of talk to people about it anyway. So getting
Yes.
something accredited about it
Yes.
probably would make sense. You know what I mean? So
Yes,
definitely
ma'am.
to meet you. So by all means, all bets on me, Dr. Walford. Is it Walford? I
Yes.
meet you and have a conversation with you. Follow me. Follow
Absolutely.
me, Crystal Bodie Smith. Follow me. I would love to meet you. I heard
I
so
highly recommend it.
definitely. And I heard you say her academy had the name Purpose in it. I think you said.
Purpose Deal Academy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wow. So that's amazing right there. So that tells me it's very intentional. So man, I'm so proud of you. I really am. I know it hasn't been easy. Let's talk about that for a minute because a lot of people probably said, man, she got it going on. Everything is just so peaches and cream and everything sounds like so hunky dory, but it wasn't always like that, I'm sure. Is that correct?
Hmm. It hasn't been easy, and it's not as easy as it may look today. Um, I am by choice um unwed. So like you asked me in the very beginning, about my marital status and children and things of that nature. So of course, being a single woman, making stuff happen, raising kids and all of that. And it's not that, their dads weren't in the picture. They still are, always have been, but it's still different when the women do the raising and the rearing and going to the schools and, like I said, in church, going to rehearsals and this and that. I mean, it's a lot. Even with help, it's a lot. So
Right.
it hasn't always been easy, but God. I mean, with Him, I can do all things. Without Him, I can't do nothing at
Woo! Say
all.
that. Woo! Good God Almighty.
So yeah, and it does get hard because everybody wants, I would imagine, you know,
Help
someone
me.
to
Help
help.
me.
Yeah, help
Oh,
me
come on.
to share this. To yes.
Woo!
Let's just say it. Some help.
Woo! Jesus. And you know what? I'm
Um.
glad you brought that up because a lot of time for the strong women, for the
Mm-hmm.
independent women, for the boss women, for
Yes.
that person, that the female head of household, the female provider. A
Yes.
lot of
Come
times they
on
think
here.
that they don't want the help, that they think that they want to be the head, they think that they want to be in charge. I say it all the time. No, we don't.
No, ma'am.
Understand? No, we don't. But it is about timing, and it is about people understanding our mission, and it is about people understanding our purpose and our calling and what we walk in. And it has to take the right man. It has to take the right man
Yes.
who can push us and keep us where we need to go, give us what we need, and give us that shoulder when we need to shoulder, give us that push when we need to push, and all of the things that we need, and to evolve with us because it's an
Yes.
evolution. It's an evolution. It's a continual process. It's a continual growth, and even in a relationship, I think so many relationships go through issues because people think that it's going to stay the way it was when you first met. Well, no,
Right.
you might have met me and I might have been in this place in my life and you might have been in that place and it worked perfectly, but we change. And as we
Yes.
change, we need to recognize who we becoming as we become who we are in that present moment and recognize whether or not we outgrow each other or whether or not we growing together.
That's
Because there's a
right.
lot of things we have to be mindful about. And that has to do with the spirit, the mind, the soul, the emotions. It has to do with all of the above, so I'm so glad that you brought that up,
Oh yeah.
and yet you
Partnership
said it,
is
Dewana
so
said,
needed.
everybody needs somebody. Say that again, sister. Everybody needs somebody. These must be some of your sorrows coming in here. I'm telling you, it's
Yes.
so good to meet you guys. I thank y'all for being here. Subscribe to the channel, please. And by all means, if you ladies have a story that you want to tell, understand this platform is for that purpose. This platform is for you to tell your story. That's what this is. It's story time where we connect with human beings, not just friends, because Fatima and I are friends, we go way back, but for individuals who need a voice. We want to give you that voice so you can tell the people what you do, not just for businesses, but if you overcame something. if you survive something, if you're going through something and you want to help somebody else who's going through that too. So all of the above. So please, please, please reach out to me. Reach out to me and let me know who you are. Introduce yourself to me because I am so looking forward to meeting you all. And Fatima, I just thank you. I thank you. I thank you. We can go on and on and on, girl. We have so much
Thank
history.
you.
We could go on and on and on and on and on. So I gotta find a way to bring it to a close. So let me see. We talked about, oh my God, we talked about your children. We talked about all the different things you do. We talked about how people can reach you. Now we didn't put that email in there. You also have an email, what is that? SAYSOLCS@gmail. I can put that one up there too if you want me to. And
Yes.
also
They so
phone number, if you
LCS.
want people to be able to reach you and call you, I could definitely put that up there as well so that they could do that as well. So while I'm
Absolutely.
doing that, I would like to give you the opportunity to say anything that you want to say that maybe I did not ask you, that perhaps you want to just let people know about something you're doing, about a project you have coming up, remind the people how they can reach out to you. Anything that comes to your mind, now would be a good time to do that. And I will go ahead and begin to put your contact information out there while I do that. All right. Thank you so much, Doctor. I
Thank
appreciate you.
you.
Just thank you so much. We're working on it. Let people know about
Yes.
it. We're just out here, just trying to make a difference. Trying to make a
Yes.
difference. But Fatima, in some kind of way, give us a summation of who is Fatima Smith. Who is this person with all these hats? What is the bottom line when it's all said and done? What do you want people to say about Fatima that never met you?
I just pray that, that something about me leaves an impression on somebody. I pray that something I said, something that I did, we've all heard people say, may my work speak for me. Even whoever eulogizes my funeral, I would, love for them to just remember me as, being a daughter of the faith, for one, and also, for the work that I do for others, because it's not about me. And I give selflessly, and I just, I'm blessed to be a blessing, and that's what matters most to me, because I understand, give and it shall be given back unto you. I just get joy when I see even little girls in the fashion industry who have come under my tutelage at 5, and now they're 17 going to prom, and they're graduating from high school, and they're gone off to model for Elite, or they're getting big contracts and going to Paris and things of that nature. Do you not know how much that warms my heart? Because I can never say that it's because of me that you became who you did, because you were already that before me. But I can say that I had a hand in that. I can say that I coached, I guided, I helped train, you know, and that just blesses me. So for all people who have anybody in the fashion industry or arts entertainment business, period, who just wants to get a foot in the door and wants an in into the industry, I do take consultations, and I can lead you in the right direction. And again, one thing Fatima's not going to do is promise she's going to make you a star, or she can do this, or she can do that. I do not do that. What I do is, if I say I can help you, I can. And if I can't, I'm going to lead you into the right directions to qualified people who can. So, I mean, I'm just, very blessed to just be knowledgeable and to have relationships built on multiple platforms, even on this one. I believe that if we all come together, then, we can feast. Now, solo, we're going to eat, because every individual works enough to where they can provide and eat for themselves. But when we come together, we have the leftovers, we have the feast, we have, the manna from the table, and everybody wins. And so if we can collaborate more, to me, that's what life is all about. Even, like you were asking me about my sorority, like I said, what I do and who I am, I was already that. But it's just a blessing to be able to do that with other like-minded women who understand the assignment, and we can do it together. That's just it's better together. I'm gonna leave it like that. It's everything we do in life, in my opinion, it's just better when you have someone to do it together.
And like the lady said here, like the doctor said, say so. All right. I love it. Say so.
All
Uh,
bets
but
on me.
wow, that's it. That's it. That's it. She did say all bets on me. She said, come on here, definitely. I thank you so much for coming through here today, Fatima, and just blessing us with your story. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Fatima Smith out of Smithfield, North Carolina, formerly of
Yes,
North Carolina. And if you haven't met her before and you interested in any of the things that she does, give her a call. Make sure you mention that you saw her here in Storytime or you heard of her from this particular interview. And if you're interested, don't be afraid. Just reach out. She's approachable. She's approachable and she's open. You heard her say she's doing consultations. If you have a child that you might want to go into modeling, I'm telling you right now, she will get them right and
absolutely.
won't regret it, you know. And
Your
so I
grandbaby too,
am,
when it's time.
yes,
Your
yes.
granddaughter too gonna be on my runway. She don't know it yet, but she is.
Yeah. And you know what? I've seen her do the little children. When I look at them little children now, they're in the middle school and stuff. And I saw how Fatima had them when they were like 5, 6, or 7 years old. It's amazing to me. It's amazing. It's just truly amazing. It's time to do another. It's time to do something else. I don't want to think about that. I don't want to get, because when I get thinking about that stuff, then I get, because, we got a creative part about us that just like, Lord have mercy. But right
Absolutely.
now, I stick to the judging for right now and stuff, because that's how I try to um, kind of just keep that under control by just doing little things like coming in and doing a judge here and there. Because otherwise, I'll be creating. I'll be in the production mode. I'll be trying
Yes,
to
you will.
come up with
Yes,
another
ma'am.
event because I have some events in my head that I still want to do. But Lord knows, right now, until I get that help, like that help you mentioned, is so important because we're not getting no younger. So we're not getting no younger. So we have to be real careful. We have to be smart, and we have to take care of ourselves. Self-care is important too. So we have to know that.
Absolutely.
But I
And don't
thank you
forget the
so
cruise
much.
for a cause. The cruise for a cause. We have it. We talked about it years ago. It hasn't come to fruition just yet, but we will be doing a fashion
Oh yeah.
event
Oh, we can do
on a
that. Yeah, we need
cruise.
to do
It's
that. We can
going
set it
down. We just haven't
2024.
manifested it yet.
2024. Like we need to make it happen. As a matter of fact, right now the high school is pushing me for another reunion, so I'm setting that up for July. They want to go back in July, back to Terrace on the Park again. I don't know if we're gonna go to the high
Amazing.
school and all that, so they want to do all that. It's just a lot. It's a lot, and I thank God.
That's
It's
a
to
lot.
God glory for the things He's done and He's doing and He's
Yes.
going to do. I mean, He's still keeping us.
Amen.
Trying to keep my sister, one eye on her. I am my sister's keeper. I try to do that as well. Just trying to do that. But thank God I have a little bit of help the way that I have it set up now, opposed to how it was before. So that's a little bit easier.
Amen.
But I just
Praise
want to thank
God.
you. In any closing comments that you'd like to make at this time, Fatima?
Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate the opportunity. Always a pleasure, always a blessing. And I just want to, congratulate you for, like I said, you being a pillar in the community and just your long history of doing what you do, and it's authentic. We have people in business for tenure, but you can be doing something year after year after year just to say, "Oh, I've been doing this for 30 years." But no, Crystal Bodie Smith has been doing this from a pure place with a pure heart, literally for God's people for decades on end. So I just want to thank you, my sister, for who you are. And I appreciate you.
Thank you. And just keep me in your prayers, girl, and I'll keep you in mind too. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it right here on Storytime. Like right here, we are here. Generally, we are here on Tuesdays at 8 p.m., Sundays at 6 o'clock. We did throw it back a little bit today because Miss Producer here, you know, she's always got something going on. She had to get back home safely. We wanted to make sure that was the case. But we are available. We are now booked up until almost August. So we have slots booked up for where we at? We in May starting tomorrow. May, June is already booked. May and June is already booked. We have a couple of special slots. If there's something special coming up, we might be able to do. July is just about booked too. We are doing 2 shows a week right now. It's going to change a little bit because we right now. We just reached 85,000. A couple of days ago, we just reached 85,000 with our viewership.
Wow.
I get to 100,000. I know it must be God. God got to be doing something because I've had this channel since 2011, right? The lifetime of the channel, I've had 85,000, but in the last 365 days, I got 70,000 of it in the last year.
Ooh,
okay, so I know it is what I'm doing now. You understand what I'm saying? So we got big things in store. We got a couple things up our sleeves. So just keep us in prayer, man, because you know we want to make it all come together with all the businesses that we all do.
Absolutely.
You know, that's what it's all about. So we can. It's about that legacy, like you said earlier. We have to get the legacy. All right. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you the opportunity to tell your story, Fatima. I love you. Thank you. Let's talk a little bit more about that cruise for cars. Let's talk a little bit more about some of the things you mentioned with the sorority, with the certification, and put me in contact with the young lady. God bless you. Thank you so much, Mr. Warner. Thank you guys for coming in. Mark, John, all but that's on me. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate everybody who's going to come back and play. I appreciate you, Fatima. I'm going to see if I can get my song to play because it didn't play in the beginning. And we're going to go out with that. And ladies and gentlemen,
and promote my granddaughter's book.
Oh, man, most definitely. We're going to have her come back. I didn't push that because I want to bring her. I want to do a whole show.
Oh, she ready. She ready.
So I need you to contact your cornerback so we could do that. So we could do a whole show with her. That's the plan. That's why I did that with limitation, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Story Time. We're going to go on out with the young lady. She gave me a song. I don't know why I didn't play it. I'm going to try. If it doesn't play, I'll see y'all next time. It's time for me to get me some water and relax this Sunday night. I love you guys. Whatever you do, keep hope alive. Keep on pressing. My name is Crystal Bodie Smith. I'm your Hope Catalyst. And my mission is to stir up the gift, instill hope, and save lives. That's what the mission is today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if we can close it out with the song and see what happened. I don't know why, but we're going to get this thing right. And if not, I'm going to say, see you next time on Story Time. Peace out. I love you. And we're out. Thank you, Fatima. Peace out. Okay.
Thank you.
We're going to close it on out. And we'll see
Have a great night.
Thank you. Bye-bye. And I'm going to see if I can close it on out.